So good morning. We are going to get deeper into self-confidence. We are going to discuss matters to came out during the post discussion, and we thought it would be nice just to get more details on that, because when you talk about confidence, it has to do more with emotions, and many a times as an individual you might find that your emotions probably are not acceptable, or how you're feeling might not be in tandem or haingiani na vile watu wako around you. So at times you are forced to behave in a manner that is not necessarily how you'd ordinarily behave, so that you fit in. And when you do that, how do you feel at the end of the day? Are you comfortable with having to fake it to be able to fit in? So we need to explore that, and we have a number of guests today, mostly youth, just to share with us some of their experiences, share with us what they have seen within the environment on matters faking it about confidence, on matters of actual somebody having real confidence. So we will start off with our three guests seated together. Malcolm, you can come from in terms of the institution and what you're pursuing as a course.
Thank you very much. My name is Malcolm Simiu. I'm a student at the University of Nairobi, studying political science and public administration as a course. Thank you very much.
And your name?
Sorry.
Sorry, we didn't get your name.
Simiu Malcolm. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I am Storm Crispo. I'm from the Railway Training Institute. I study electrical and electronics engineering, which I also practice, and I'm glad to be here with you.
Thank you.
The name is Omolo Kudo, final year Bachelor of Built Environment Construction Management at the Technical University of Kenya. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Gideon?
Okay, thank you. I'm Gideon Daudi, a student of English and Literature at Machakos University.
Asante sana. Asante, Gideon. Collins?
Thank you very much, Anne. My name is Collins, a teacher by passion and profession, and I'm happy to be part of part 2, how to boost self-confidence. Asanteni sana and karibu.
Okay, thank you so much. So to kick us off today with the discussion, we actually had one of the youths who's supposed to have been on the panel today, but because of some of these technical challenges, she wasn't able to join us. And she sent us a long text, and it's more to do with faking it and how this is affecting confidence among the youth. So we felt we needed to share that with you, and it will be the reference point for our discussion today. So Collins, I'll hand over to you so that you can take us through that part of the discussion.
Okay, asante sana.
Sorry, Collins, is it me or there's no voice on it?
Sorry?
There is no, I can't hear the voice. I don't know if it's just me or.
From my end, it's playing. I can hear the voice.
Oh,
And
sorry.
then, Malcolm Storm, can you hear anything, or it's only the video?
It's only the video.
It's only the video.
Yeah.
Doing many out and be different from the rest shows that sense of self-confidence.
So you can just.
The pressure to fit in the group and be somebody in the society.
Is the voice coming in, or is still video only?
No, now it's okay. So you can play from the beginning.
Okay, I'll start over again.
Okay.
Fake it till you. This is a phrase that most teenagers are fond of using without really knowing what it really spells out. Most people using this phrase are either trying really hard to achieve something or often tries to fit in, and this makes them fake a lot personality, fame, status, and these are why the identity crisis strikes. As youths, we fake a lot. Someone asked me if I can fake self-confidence, and the answer may be yes or no. I may be pushed by the relationships I have, or maybe by life circumstances. Mainly our peers tend to incite us into doing many things that sometimes we may just do as proof of belonging. But before taking that step to stand out and be different from the rest shows that sense of self-confidence which most youth lack. The pressure to fit in the group and be somebody in the society is what pushes most youth. Most youths lack the courage to just be them and do them, as they lack how to say no and be different and outstand the fear being termed mishamba, and this often makes most youth make wrong choices, all because they lack the inner confidence to be what they wish and what they dream just to fit in. And there is where most dreams start crumbling downhill, even where there is great hope. So you can fake it till you make it, but the question is, what are you really faking?
Okay. Thank you so much. So the issue of faking, and here I want to kick off the discussion with our youth. I'll start with you, Malcolm, Storm, and Omolo. Any of you can talk about it. What is your reaction to what your colleague, in as much as she's not here, what she has shared with us? What are your views? And how does it relate to your day-to-day when you're in campus? Is it something that is happening or not?
It is something that is really there from me, Malcolm. A perspective that is really going on in our society today with the youths, that people are really faking it too much so that they can be able to be seen, not even reach those levels, but to be seen to be in those levels.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it could be really dangerous in one's confidence.
Okay.
Just to echo on what Malcolm is saying, people are faking it, mostly in campuses. It basically starts in high school, whereby you go, unaona watu wako shule, you have a friend who can afford a loaf of bread, you cannot afford a loaf of bread, and you know very well that that's where your background comes from, eh? So unataka kujilazimisha ndio watu waone you are one of those people, so you start doing things with like this friend of yours ama urafiki yako, okay, akikanyaga hapa you're stepping here, akifanya hivi unakanyaga hapa, like that friend sasa, you're trying to fake that friendship which is not there, you're posting things that are not there. In campuses pia bado watu tu wako tu na the same habits, not that it dies, it only gets worse, or should I say it grows more ukifika kampo yenye sasa mnatry kuforce issues, people right nowadays nasemanga una force issues, unalazimisha kuomoka, as in kutoka, unataka kutoka, you go and you are now seen like that person who has made it in society. Yet, knowingly, when you go back to the bed that you're going to lie, that bed, hadi uko na bed za 10 years ago, you're not using the normal things just because of pride, because you want people to see
To
you,
see you.
watu wakuone. Now you're trying to take a life that you're not even living that life.
Yeah.
Okay. Omolo, you have something to add to what your colleagues have said?
Just to add to what Thomas said, mainly people look at it as what people see you, who you are, instead of what you see yourself being. You know, you want you want to be that guy who walks the lady past, who helps the old lady past the road. But someone wants you to be that guy who is always ogling at girls every time they pass by. So your character changes according to how your friend thinks of you instead of how you think of yourself.
So the aspect of confidence, the aspect of knowing myself, what I stand for, what I can fall into, comes into play. Matters to do with perception
Yeah.
comes into play. Let me hear what Gideon has to say, and then we'll come back to you. Gideon, any comments on the issue of faking it?
Yes, I can add something on what Malcolm, Stone, and Omola said. For instance, most of the students in the university try to brag what they don't have. For instance, somebody can borrow a laptop from a colleague, aende nayo aringe wiki mzima arudishe. But in a real sense, the person cannot afford, and they say that they just claim that it belongs to them and such things. So what I can say is that faking it so much, it is not good.
Okay, thank you. Collins, maybe just a thought on this before we delve slightly more into it. You as a guardian, you as a parent, you as an educator, what is your thought about the aspect of faking it amongst the youth? And it could actually cut across, even as adults, we fake a lot. So what is your view?
Actually, Storm, Malcolm, Omolo, and Gideon have really touched on it. And they've brought out the fact that someone lives a life that is not theirs because of friends, because of people who are around them. So I think they can confirm this to me. The way the young people put it nowadays, kutafuta gangster points. I think it was Omolo who said hataki kuonekana kama ni ule boy mwenye anasaidia mtu mzee kucross barabara, anataka kuonekana in a different light, maybe with more appeal to the youth and the group they are with. So I think this is something that cuts across, even for the older generation, faking it. But in light of this, would be, and to the youth, is it always bad to fake? What are some of the effects of this faking? Because I know for the older generation, we went through a slightly different technological era, and what we knew was within Kenya or within your location. But now for them, they are facing all this faking it, but it's not only for them in this location. It's all around the world. And this is thanks to the best and the worst tools, which is a social media. So back to you, Anne.
Thank you. So probably just to come back to our youth panelists, Malcolm, Storm, and Omolo, the aspect of faking it, what are some of the examples? Because you talk about it happening. So let's bring it to the fore. Let us understand what are these incidences that we are saying that people are actually faking it? If you could share some real life examples so that we are able to fully understand the aspect of faking it.
Yeah. From my point of view, and the examples that we have from the university itself, you can find that some people want to live a life. An example where I can give is wale watu wenye huwa tunaitana viongozi kiongozi, you see. So there's this dude or lady that according to what she's known of, he or she is capable of having loads of money, yes, and reputation. He or she has a reputation ya kwamba anajulikana, and ye ni leader in some different type of areas. So students make it their obligation, or rather than, let's say, fake it, wanataka kuwa kama huyo mtu, but the deeds they are doing to this person, for this person, it's really encouraging, or rather, see, it's not faking it for the better. You find people in the university are even being used so that they fake it to show sisi tunaweza kuwa pia hivi. An example, if I can use one, Storm is my friend. We've known each other for years. But since Storm is able to talk to a few people and acquire votes and do this and that, in the university, his reputation is well known. But I want people to know that I am Storm's friend. I am his right-hand man. You see? So Storm akisema leo atukali hapa, we want to be meeting here, no one will disagree on that. Storm akisema tonight kutaharibika, no one will disagree. So people are trying to make their lives seemingly look the same as someone else's, so as just to appear, kuonekana tu nimepata gangster points. Also, mostly in the university, it's about impressing someone else. You're trying to impress either a lady or someone you've known for some time. So you're trying to make it, yet this other person like Storm anaweza kuwa anakuja ananiambia we unajua tu hata unisaidii chochote. So wewe yakufanya hata just go away. And I want sitakata, he's even lowering my own self-esteem. But sitakata, because what people are seeing is not what he sees. You see? Mimi na yeye we are friends, even rather friends in quotes. But at least watu wanajua Malcolm na Storm are friends. Whenever they give a higher table in Storm ataka, even Malcolm will sit there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Malcolm. Storm, what are your views?
Personally, what I've seen from my point of view on faking, people, or should I say my peers, wanakwanga driven with this thing of whereby wanataka kuonekana, they need to be heard. To a point whereby unasema huyu sasa yake ni kierere, hakuna kenye analeta kwa table. So you're trying each and every single time to be at the one at the top. At times you do not have an idea of what's going on. You're not even understanding this type of situation, but you want to be the one who people respect and who people see for what you are. It reaches to a point whereby, let me just put this in black and white, what one and their sponsors, our female friends and even our male friends, wanaendea the sponsors. Unaona mtu ametoka ameendea sponsor, amekuja amefika hapo hivyo ameshikishwa na Land Cruiser, ama amekuja ameshikishwa na V8 hapo, Now this person anakuja kuonekana like huyu ndo ameweza, huyu ndo anaweza kuja tunulie drinks yenye tunataka drinks, huyu ndo sisi tunataka bash, yeye ndo tunamwendea kwanza. But in reality huyu mtu mwenye mnasema yeye ndo ameweza, yeye ndo anashikia drinks and everything else, ukimwangalia the real dark side of mali ametoka, it is not a place whereby you can be pleased kwenda kukaa we mwenyewe. Mtu anaweza kuwa ametoka from a very very humble background, but saa anataka kuforce that life whereby yeye ndio at the center, yeye ndio the, how do you put this, pivot, yeye ndio the pivot of everybody else. Kila mtu akitaka kitu anaenda kwake, nikitaka kitu maana akitaka kitu anakuja kwangu, Malcolm akitaka kitu anakuja kwangu. Now I'm becoming that pivot just because of I'm living a life which is not even there.
Okay. Omolo?
Yeah. Me, I can say, guys, sisi ka boy child, kitu yenye inatumizanga sana ni wasichana. Hapo naye sitadanganya. Unaweza pata still lying on the college thing. Kuna huyo msichana amekuzingua kwa hiyo college ama college nyingine. Sawa, mtu anaweza go to extreme lengths kumplease. Sisi kama boy child unaweza jisumbua, unaweza hustle, unaweza fanya nini. Hata saa zingine unaweza kuenda uanze kufanya illegal stuff just to please that girl. And yet that girl is using you for her own selfish gains. That hiyo kitu umizanga wanaume sana in college. Saa zingine unapata unajua venye wanasemanga ati love is blind, upendo ni kipofu. Mwanaume anakuwa kipofu to the extent yenye hadi anaweza kujiua in the case that huyo msichana reject. Yeah, that huyo mtu atakuwa huyo mtu atakuwa anatumika, self confidence yake itakuwa chini hadi ataanza kuignore watu wengine wenye wanaweza msaidia in that situation. Yes.
And I'm just curious because one of the things that mmeshare ni unapata mtu ametoka humble background, but akifika kampo because of the influence and probably because of not knowing who you are as an individual, not knowing what your strengths are, what makes you tick, then you easily fall for this perception that I need to be in this circle for people to recognize me.
Exactly.
If I, as a parent, somebody came and told me, this humble son of yours, shule yeye ndio gangster. I mean, how am I, as a parent, do parents know what's going on with the children in campus in terms of there's a personality they have at home, and when they come to school, because they want to conform, they take up a different personality? Do many parents know that? From your own view?
We know many of us who are faking it know how to mask it.
Yes.
They know how to hide behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And say we are not who we are. We are who you want us to be. You want us to be good, we'll be good. If you want us to be bad, we'll be bad. That's how they will portray themselves to you. It depends on the audience. If the audience is the parent and he or she knows the parent wants to see good behavior, he will appear to be good. But outside with the circle of friends, he will be his true self.
Wow.
Yes.
Gideon, before I go to Collins, Gideon, do you have any other addition to what has been said?
Okay, thank you for that chance. Only to summarize what they have said. Now, there is this writer, David Mulwa, who once said that when the mother beetle was asked about the load on her back, she always said, "It is my house." So, and he also said that it may sting in your nostrils, but my children will begin there before they see their sunlight. So, what I can say is that, what I can tell the youth is that let them start from where they are. Do not brag with what you don't have, just be real. Only that. Asante.
Thank you. Now, Collins, this issue of faking, and it's quite surprising, but not surprising at the same time, that our children might be giving us a screensaver. We are not seeing the real person that we are supposed to see so that we can guide them. You have interacting with a lot of interacting with a lot of youth in the learning environment. What's your take on that?
Thank you, Anne. I like the way it has been brought up. You talked about a screensaver, and the youth talked about a mask, putting a mask for different audience, which is actually true. Because personally, as a teacher, I have dealt with situations whereby in school I am dealing with a different child as the one who is at home. Because when you communicate with the parents, you get a totally different picture of the good and, as you say, humble child. But in school, because of the peer pressure, the faking it, they change into someone they are not completely. So it's very, very true. This is one of the major things that leads to a lot of indiscipline in school. You even get, and this is actually something I've seen as a student and as a teacher. You get a student from a Christian background, a religious background, not only Christian but religious background. At home, they pray even 5 times a day, but when they come to school, because they want to be part of a group, they want to be part of the best group. What they do is they inject themselves, wear a different mask, and they start living a lie in school. And they live that lie until it becomes true. As the youth were saying it, they become the true selves when they are with the youth. But in reality, that is, they've lied to themselves for so long until it becomes the truth to them. Another thing that I liked that was brought up was the fact that you gain false confidence by sticking to someone or a group of people. Now, this shows that the person who does that lacks self-confidence. And I actually like the topic today because it's all about boosting this self-confidence. So if we can boost the self-confidence of our youth, of our children, of our students, then we might be able to help them avert these issues that they usually get into. Because if you are self-confident, believe in yourself, and you believe you can stand alone and make your own decision, then you will not need to get next to someone. The way I think Storm or Malcolm said, unajifinya juu mwingine ako na pesa na anaweza nunua, and you cannot, so you push yourself there so that you're able to get, or if your friend is going to a good place, they can be able to pull you along like a cat, so that you can enjoy the leftovers of your friend. With self-confidence, you will not need to do that. So that's a very, very interesting part that has been brought up. Back to you, Anne.
Thank you so much, Collins. And just before we leave the negative side, because I want to believe there is a positive side of faking it. At one point when I started business, I was told you need to fake it till you make it. So there is always the flip side of the coin. Gosh, I've forgotten the question. It will come back. So let me read a comment from one of the audience. And this is Mercy Barminga, and she says, that there's a saying, fake it till you make it. Yeah, what I was sharing, I was told when I started business. But its impact is as good as the intentions. I think the key word here is the intention. When you're faking it, what is your intention? If you fake good things like ambition, etc., it may make them work towards that kind of a life. So in as much as many of us fake it for negative purposes, just to fit in, there is the part of the intention where now the positive side of faking it can actually come into play. What are some of your views on that? And do you have any examples where somebody has actually faked it with good intentions and they have actually achieved what they wanted to achieve? Either Storm or Malcolm, because I can see you want to share something. Malcolm, you can go first. Your smile is ready to share.
Okay. Fake it till you make it. It's true. It's you fake it with your good or bad intentions. And for what Mercy Baminga said, I've seen some youths who have really faked it and have made it in a good way. In that you have individuals who really want to prosper in life. And as for me, I've always used the book of who is this guy? This book on gifted hands. Yeah. So there are times that you learn some things even in books, and you can use them in real life. And even though you're faking the life of the person in the book, at times it works. Even in the university as per now, as per se. I know we have many youths here who are in the university, and we can all testify that not most of the leaders that we choose, we don't choose them because they are always right. They are always with that confidence and they look like they're the best. No. But the way they have showed themselves, the way they have matured enough to show us that they can be leaders, you can at times see that, yeah, this guy is faking it, but he's faking it terribly wrong. But you can fake it and make it your life. Mtu anaweza vaa suti kila siku na unaona huyu jamaa bwana shida yake ni nini? You know, with youth unakuwa judged every day, every minute. Yeah. So you see some people like that, baadaye unakuja unapata anakuambia like I'm in this and this department right now, and you're like, wow, you made it really. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you remind me, from a HR perspective, you are normally told dress the part that you want.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a manager, you need to dress like a manager.
Like a manager.
If you want to be a politician, like now the angle you are pursuing, then you dress like one. Yeah. So whatever it is that you admire in life, dress the part. And dressing the part is not just the outfit; it's how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other comment on the issue of the positive side of faking it?
Maybe
Yes,
I may add this point. Unaweza kibahati mbaya when youth upate mtoi na hujapata job. You as a responsible person, you may start hustling for that kid. Huyo mtoi afeel ni kama ako dunia nyingine. And in that process of hustling, unaendelea kufunguka akili. By the time una realize umeshakuwa kimanager fulani, juu idea zako zinaanza kupanuka, unaanza kuwa innovative, you start doing things people hawakuwa wamekutarajia. Juu watu wanakuja jingi, ukishapata mtoi wanasema huyo maisha yake imeshaisha. So unaweza pata kumbe kupata huyo mtoto ili increase confidence yako towards what you are trying to do. Maybe tuseme ulikuwa mtu wa construction labda. Sa venye mtoi alikuja ukaanza kufanya mjengo, ukakuwa fundi. But since you have the nitty-gritty details kwa mkono yako, unaweza ipursue more. Ufike mahali wewe ndio unakuwa contractor wa project fulani ya gava, and that's how you come to make it. Yes.
Yeah. In fact, as you're sharing, you reminded me of Robin Sharma. There is a book he's written. He talks about a leader without a title. Because the context of what you are sharing, as you are faking it, you are actually becoming a leader in your own domain. You are becoming a leader in whatever it is that you are doing. So leadership doesn't necessarily have to come with a title. It is more how you are carrying yourself out. So one of the positive angles of faking it would actually be developing that leadership quality, becoming your own person, having a better understanding of who you are. Thank you very much. Gideon, you want to say something? Unaka,
Well,
you want to
I can.
literature for us?
No, this time round, not literature.
Yes.
But what I can say, when you are faking, you should fake with an aim for you to be on the positive side.
Yes.
For instance, as my colleagues have said, you can fake, you can start dressing in suti, hivyo tu, then as time goes by, unajipata ushakuwa huyo mtu ulitaka kukua. That person you have been faking to be.
Yes.
Again, umetuambia mambo na business. As you start a business, uliambiwa you fake it until you make it. So when you are faking without an aim, then I think you won't make it. So you should fake with an aim.
Okay.
Asante.
Thank you so much. And probably, Collins, you can share your thoughts on this, the aspect of faking it in relation to intentions.
Just to add on before Collins goes
Oh,
on.
okay. Yes, Storm. Yes.
The aspect of faking it in a positive way. Okay, fine. I'm not for faking. Nimelelewa in a way whereby you take you call a spoon and a spade a spade. Eh? So faking is not in terms of my life, but looking at it at an angle, from our African setup, right? Unaona mzazi anaweza kuambia fanya hivi kama nani, ama angalia vile Malcolm anafanya hivi, and ukae na yeye, you learn from him. You get that the more unakana Malcolm, ama vile uende ukae na Omolo, you start sitting down, you picking 2 or 3 things from Omolo or Malcolm. Now you'll stop living your life as Tom. You'll start living your life as Malcolm or Omolo. Now, when you're living your life as them, you find yourself umeanza kufake into their lives. You're faking into their lifestyle. And whatever you pick from them, when you pick the negative behaviors za huyu za kulewa, za kuvuta bangi, now you'll be faking it to the negative points. And when you pick up the positive side, whereby unakuja, you see, hey, this person is very hardworking, anajipanganga hivi before asubuhi, hata inaanza kujipanga ka yeye. You get? Now, you find yourself vile unajipanga ka huyu, or you're trying to work like somebody else. Now you're faking into that person's life. When you pick up the positive, now you start going ahead on the positive side.
And also, to add on what Gideon has said, you might fake it with an aim that is negative. So the aim must be positive for you to fake it. Fake it in.
For you to get positive results.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's come to Collins. What are your views?
Yes, thank you, Anne. The youth have actually brought it out clearly. The intentions have to be positive for you to fake it positively. So negative intentions lead to negative Now, this reminds me of a very simple thing that I think everyone must have gone through it at one point or another, where you fear darkness. And when you're still small, utapelekwa room, the lights will be left on until you sleep. And then now, as you get older, you have to switch off your lights on your own. So at that point, you will start faking not outside you're okay, but inside your internal organs are running away from your body because of fear of darkness. But as time goes, due to that faking, you will start understanding that there's nothing wrong with turning off the lights and the darkness. You will sleep okay without any problem. So faking it with the right intentions will take you in the right directions, as our youth have put it clearly. Back to you, Anne.
Thank you very much. Now, having discussed, taken quite some time to look at the aspect of faking it, which is really important, because in the earlier, what I learned is quite a huge percentage of youth are actually faking it. So it's important to have that. Now, coming back to the topic at hand, in terms of boosting our self-confidence, in terms of boosting our self-esteem, probably the first thing that we'd like to understand is, how do I know that I'm actually confident? Because we could be talking about confidence and I don't know what confidence is. How do I know whether I'm confident or not? Gideon, you want to go first? What would make you say that you are confident?
No.
Okay. Malcolm, let's go. I saw you are ready to share.
Fine, I can start.
Okay, yes, Gideon.
So, for one to know that they are confident, the first thing is that they speak with authority. Mm-hmm. And this comes with the knowledge and experience that someone has from the past. For instance, if you have been brought up from a poor background, and you meet people in campus, wanakwambia tufanye hivi, and you know where you come from, you are able to challenge them and tell them that I cannot do that because unakumbuka penye umetoka, penye vile pako. Again, you speaking with authority comes with making the right decisions. So the moment you speak with authority, people will know your stand, and you can make the right decision. Mm-hmm. So with that, I think someone can know you are confident.
So speaking with authority. Thank you, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Let me start this time.
Let Omolo start.
Okay,
I'm a sports person. Me myself, I'm a sports person, and sport requires you to have a lot of confidence, and that confidence comes from mostly training, doing everything to keep yourself fit and avoid injuries. So when you enter, there is that team that you can enter, that when you are missing, they always call you and ask, uko happy? Because as long as you are there, you are a confidence booster. Let's take, for example, to the football knowing people. Bruno Fernandes in Manchester United. Let's see. Before had a lukewarm performance. Let's say they were hot and cold at times. But after signing the person, when he came, he made an instant impact. Why? He had confidence in what he was coming to do. Mm-hmm. If you get someone once you get someone who can show you that this thing, hiki kitu haihitaji makasiriko. Kuna ile design unaweza kuona uko kwa grau, unacheza ball, lakini sasa kazi yako ni kupura. Juu wewe mtu mwenye yuko kando yako anapura tu. Lakini kuna yule mwenye ataingia hapo center back, boli kuje aitulize. Utaanza kujiuliza, mbona sikukuwa nafanya hii? And that inaanza kukuquestion, unaanza kujiquestion kwa akili yako, mbona siwezi fanya hii? Unapata hata in that same game you become calm, you become confident around the ball, and that makes you be confident. So someone, you may know that someone is confident when you know what the person is doing the right thing at the right time. You know, you can see someone ametuliza hiyo ball. Mbona ametuliza hiyo ball? Anataka kutuliza kila mtu wa timu yake, and that exudes confidence to everyone, and that brings teamwork very easily. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Malcolm.
To add to what he has said, I believe with confidence, you can also go hand in hand with the saying that practice makes perfect. That tutafanya hii kitu until tujue kuifanya. You see?
Yeah.
And once you know how to do it, confidence is built inside you. And to know if someone has confidence, there are some certain things you need to look at a person, and you'll know huyu hata anajua yenye anafanya. But yeah, huyu anajua yenye anafanya. You can find okay, for example, here at home, there is a plumber who came to do plumbing works here at our home, and mtu anakuja unamwambia do a quotation of what you need, and anaandika, afika mahali akwambia wacha niende nitarudi, and tutafanya hii kazi leo 4-5 hours, mtu hajarudi kazi. And the way you look at this person, he's just writing things for the sake of writing. You know, he's not even sure of himself. Ako tu anaandika, anasema hii, ana cancel, anaandika hii. Then you find after 4-5 hours hajarudi bado. Na huyo ndio mtu alikuwa akuja kutengenezea nyumba. You'll also wonder, na huyo alikuwa fundi kweli? You see? He didn't believe in himself. After about 7 hours, inaelekea 6 jioni, anatokea hapa na fundi mwingine anasema mimi nakuanga mtu wa mkono. You see?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You already knew from the start, the way he's carrying himself, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you talk with people. That's how you know someone is confident. And you build confidence through practice. Huwezi tokea tu one day ati mimi niko confident sana, ninajua. No, you have to learn. It's a process. Yeah.
And then you can also build someone's confidence. For example, I may not be knowing a lot of politic things. So when I come in front of Malcolm, I speak confidently about politics to him. You know, as long as I speak confidently to him, he will be confident to speak back.
Yeah.
You might not be knowing something, but that aspect of you just making yourself look knowledgeable in that topic may exude confidence in another one, in another person, to speak confidently about that topic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just to add on what they've just said.
Yes, Tom.
Confidence, I think it naturally comes out when you have everything planned down. Like, you know, you can go to bed and wake up in the morning knowing that today I have to study from 6 to this time, or I have to go work out from 6 a.m. to 9. Then from there I come and do this and this chores. Then in the evening I will have some press conference or something else to go and do. So you find out that when you're waking up and you have everything planned and you do everything according to what you have been planning, everything just becomes more so collection of rice, it becomes easier. It's why by you see when somebody is going to make a national speech anaandikanga key points eh? Unaandika kwa Waswahili wanasemanga vidokezo, write down the key points moja moja, point moja moja, so when you're going to speak you are not there going to mumble words or crisscross yourself, uende kujipitapita. You're just going to pick out that one thing, unaongelea hadi ishe, pick up the next, unaongelea ishe. You find doing that, you have everything planned, your mind inakuwa settled, una find everything uko calm sasa, au fikiri kitu kusema hii nikishamaliza nitafikiria nini next, while in the middle of speaking of something else eh? So when everything is settled in your mind and you're having everything clear, not in black and white, unapata confidence yako inakuwa much more better.
Thank you. And Collins, as we come to you, let me just read a comment from Lilian Nafla Daria. She talks about faking confidence. Okay, let me read exactly as she's written. Faking confidence to me is always as a result of low self-esteem. And remember, today we are talking about self-esteem and self-confidence, especially if you're around people who put you down all the time. So as you make your comment, probably you can link the issue of self-esteem and self-confidence and how the people around you can actually impact how you behave.
Thank you, Anne, and thank you to our youth for that very interesting picture they've painted. Now I'll start from our viewers' comment. Lillian, faking confidence is as a result of low self-esteem and low self-confidence. I agree with her. And to top it up, also peer pressure comes in as something that will push you to fake this confidence. In some cases, faking of the confidence or having what we call pseudo-confidence can be constructive. As per how we started the show, are you faking it positively? Are you faking it negatively? The environment that you're in, the friends that you choose, or the people you hang out with will determine how your self-esteem or self-confidence would be. For example, if you say you hang out with friends, but I'm going to say friends in quotes, who are going to tell you, we bwana hawezi fanya hii, you cannot do this, you will not be able to do this, we fanya hivi, tufuate tu tuende. Let's do this, wachana na hiyo. In that situation, you will not, you are not able to. Those people will kill your confidence and you will have to fake it in the wrong direction to be able to fit in their group because they've already killed you and trapped you in that situation. There's even a worse one, and allow me to speak to the teachers who are outside there. If a teacher comes into class and, for example, they're teaching chemistry, a topic that in 844 is feared, mole concept. If the teacher comes in and says, there's no one in this class who will be able to handle mole concepts, except maybe number one or index one, that already has impacted the pupils wrongly. And I think that is why most students are afraid of chemistry. They might do well in Form 1, Form 2. When they get to mole concepts, chilling. So the environment is key. The group of people that you're going to be with is also key. Now, to the question that the youth were handling, how do you know that you're confident or you have self-confidence? You've actually touched on everything. So I'll just summarize by saying self-awareness is key. Do I understand myself as an individual? If I do, then definitely my self-confidence will be good. Um, do I accept failure and mistakes, and am I willing to learn from them? If you accept failure and mistakes and learn from them and correct what you have done wrong, then it means your self-confidence is high. Because if you do something wrong and you're corrected, and instead of accepting it, you start fighting back, or you start arguing too much, you start shouting, it means you don't have enough self-confidence to accept it. And that is really, really bad. Lastly, something that Storm brought out, very interesting, planning. Planning is a very key thing in everyone's life, be it a youth, be it an adult. The moment you plan, it means you have committed and you have made a decision. A person who's not going to plan is someone who has not committed, and they cannot make a decision. They're either waiting for their friends or they're waiting for the flow to vile itakuwa. But the moment you plan, you have committed to something, and that decision you've made shows that you have self-confidence and you are confident and believe in yourself. Thank you. Back to you, Anne.
Thank you very much. And as we come to the close of the session, this last question, I want to start with you, Collins, so that you can give us the framework and then the youth can tap into that. What are these strategies that we can use as individuals, whether it is youth or whether it's an adult who feels probably they're faking too much and they need to be real with themselves? What are some of the strategies that we can employ to be able to boost our self-confidence? Because ultimately, as we boost our self-confidence, then our self-esteem actually goes higher. So what are some of the things that we can do to boost, to improve our self-confidence?
Now, as an individual, boosting your self-confidence is key, and there are several ways that you can do. Personally, in my opinion, the number one thing that you need to do and accept and believe is you need to be the driver of your life and not a passenger. The moment you become the driver and make your own decisions, that would mean you choose favorable environments for yourself, the kind of friends that you are going to keep company. It means you will not lay blame on others. You see, there's a blame game that people play when something goes wrong and they push it. Oh, ilikuwa ni COVID ilifanya. Oh, it was because I was sick. Oh, I was. The blame game, you will avoid it because you are the driver. You will accept it, learn from it, and move on. Another thing again is moving out of your comfort zone. Look at where you are. Do not allow yourself to stay in that point where you're comfortable the whole time. Take a risk. Move out of the comfort zone. See what is going to happen to you. Go positively and see yourself as a winner. If you don't do that, you will remain in the comfort zone. You will not grow, and you will see people moving forward, and you wonder, why is so taking 3 steps ahead while I'm stagnant for a very long period? So yeah, as an individual, those are the things that we need to do to improve and boost our self-confidence. The people need to understand, and the youth need to understand, is as Malcolm said, you will not wake up and become confident just like that. It will take time. You need to build it slowly by slowly. You start from a lower level and push it slowly but steadily, and you will get there. Thank you, and back to you, Anne.
Thank you. And probably just before I hand over to the others, maybe you can talk about the roles of teachers and parents and guardians.
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you, Anne. Now, parents, guardians, and teachers, especially teachers, you see, students or learners spend most of the time in school with teachers. So a teacher can break or make the and as I gave earlier an example where a teacher will come into class and say, this small concept or this topic called genetics or this topic called indices, no one can make it. In this class, maybe index 1 or 2. At that point, that teacher has completely destroyed the self-confidence of the learners in that particular subject, which is a very, very bad thing. So as a teacher, what you really need to do is create a favorable environment for the learners by showing them that these things you can do it. By showing them that you can actually bring them as a teacher and tell them, when I was at your level, this thing was hard because of A, B, C, D. But after doing 1, 2, 3, I was able to understand it and move forward from it. And it was easy from there on. Teachers also accept mistakes and corrections from the learners gracefully. If you're typing something or writing something on the board and you make a mistake, and the learner says, "Teacher, I think when you're doing that sum from point A to point B, you went wrong." There are some teachers, and when I was in high school, they would actually punish you for correcting them because they knew they were the sole owners of knowledge at that point. But for the 21st century teacher, we should be able to accept it gracefully and even go ahead and thank the student and say, student so and so, thank you very much for being keen. Allow me to correct that. And that will boost the self confidence of the learner. There's also another thing called differentiation in learning. In a class of maybe 20, 30 students, not all of them have the same ability. And the moment you come and teach all of them the same, move with the same pace for all of them, you will lose the slow learners or the learners who learn differently. So in that case, if you differentiate, it means you're giving attention to all the learners at the same time and moving with the pace of each and every learner individually, collectively. So in that case, the slow learner or the learner who learns differently will be able to move with the rest and feel part of the class without being dragged along. And that dragging will lead to lowering the self-esteem. But the moment you treat them the same during the differentiation, you actually help boost the self-esteem. Then lastly, as a teacher, we should be able to project or inspire our learners. As a teacher, I actually prefer more of inspiring a learner than teaching a learner. There's a difference between the two. Teaching, I'll go in, genetics, biology, DNA, whatnot. I'll pour knowledge to them. But inspiring means I get into that class and I make the learners feel the need to learn. So if I inspire them to learn, what would happen is after I move out of the class, they would go and look for more knowledge regarding the same topic to learn more about it. But if I only teach, they will only take what I've given them and they will not go to look for anything else. So also inspiring them will make them build their self-confidence by getting more information, more knowledge on the subjects. And when they do well in the exams, they feel good, and that feeling good, which leads to production of feel-good hormones in the brain, will boost self-confidence and also self-image, and by far self-awareness of the learner. Parents at home, it majorly boils down to the words that you use and how you perceive them. If a parent tells the learner, you cannot do anything, you cannot do well in school, you are just watching TV all the time, you are just a nuisance, those bad words that you keep on telling them, it beats down their self-confidence. They might be doing something wrong, but parents, I urge you, tell them what you're doing is not right. However, I like ABCD. You can pick on even the smallest thing that they did right that day to correct the wrong big thing that they're doing, and that will help them see my parent is seeing, yes, I'm doing the wrong thing, but they notice something good that I did, so they'll try and push and do more right things and less wrong things in the process of improving their self-confidence. So for parents, it's more of how you talk to them, how you interact with them. Be a friend, parents, but be also strict so that they don't go overboard. So we have to balance it. That is for the parents, for the guardians. And lastly, before I give it back to you, Anne, the role of the institutions. The institutions have a very big role, be it schools, universities, colleges. They have to expose the learners by coming up with programs. For example, things like MUN, debates, world scholars, things that will remove the student from the local mentality and give them the global mentality. Let them know that they are not the only human beings, they are not the only teens in the world. We have others, and the moment they interact and realize that, oh, I know something better than someone who is in America, or I think I know ABCD than someone who is in Asia, they kind of come out of their cocoon and their self-confidence is built and it increases. Thank you. Back to you, Anne.
Thank you very much. And in fact, the last point on the institutions, I think ties in closely with what Lillian has said. She's not a believer in faking it, and we appreciate that. She would rather that a lot of coaching and mentorship goes into building self-esteem and building confidence. And I think that's one of the things that probably institutions can also come up with, develop programs that actually mentor the students or the youth to be better people in society. Now, before I come to the youth to give us their comments as we are winding up, Eunice Namuki has actually shared something as a parent, and she says, as parents, we should talk to our children to accept who they are first, direct them on how to be better persons in the society through positive change. When we notice a character in our or talent in our kids which we can build them into better persons, let us encourage and support them. In this way, we will have our children as friends, which I think is important, and we will be the first person they think to confide in and turn to, and we will be able to have a chance to be the first people to advise them correctly. So I think that's a challenge to us as parents. How do we ensure that we balance the act of being a parent as well as being a friend so that our children can confide in us and don't give us screensavers, as we evidently has happened. So as we wind up, because actually we've kind of run out of time, briefly, as you give your closing remarks, you can also share as a youth, what can you do to be able to boost your self-esteem, to be able to boost your self-confidence? What advice can you give your fellow youth out there? So who is ready to start us off among our youth panelists? Omolo, naona unaangaliwa, so probably we'll start with you.
One main thing as a youth that you can try to do is to have someone to be accountable to. That will ensure that whatever you're doing is not in vain. So even if it's your parent, even if it's your friend, as long as you are accountable to him or her, it will be sticking to business. That ensures that whatever you've planned during the day or during the week or during even the whole year, you will be able to go through with it. And also to parents, I may advise, it's all on communication to your kids. We communicate, it's how you communicate with them that will show in the near future. If you start early to communicate with them and then you stop while they are in a very tricky stage, maybe in class 8 going to the secondary, that's a very tricky stage for us. It's a tricky stage because suddenly someone starts becoming angry, someone will start becoming emotion spike, hataki kuambiwa kitu, yeye ndio anataka kuambiana. So if we communicate with them, we'll ensure that as long as that communication is in the fray, the kid will feel comfortable. He will ensure he will be open with you. He will never be carrying secrets. He will never be hiding. And then also to parents, keep your kids busy. If you keep them busy, they will have less time to think about other things. If you keep them busy, they'll be developing skills that they don't know they have. Thanks.
Wow, thank you. Before Malcolm or Storm talks, Gideon, do you have something? As you're parting short,
I have
how to boost.
Well, what I can tell the youth is that they should have a positive mindset every time. I've known much about strategies to employ to boost self-confidence other than a positive mindset. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Now, before I come to you, Malcolm and Storm, today we have Lillian is on fire today, and she's sharing a comment from her daughter. And her daughter says, we should not compare ourselves to others. We should focus on our strength. I think that's very powerful in terms of us developing self-confidence. Focus on who you are. Know what your strengths are and build those strengths. So Storm, what is your comment? What do you advise your fellow youth?
As I always say, most importantly, you should have a trigger factor. That thing that drives you to reach somewhere. Set a goal. Umesema, like the way we have been doing. Unfortunately, the three of us, we are in, should I call it a village football team? we are in a home football team, but currently we are playing on the county level. So kenye tunafanya ni tunasema this week we have to do like 500 push-ups in the total for the week. The number of days or how we're going to do them doesn't matter. Bora by Friday tuko tumefika 1,000 of those 5,000 push-ups. So it's a goal that you have set. You'll find yourself knowing that you have a goal which you have to reach. Uko na target yenye umewekewa hapo. So you'll be driving yourself. Utakuwa unajiskuma ufike to that target, to that goal that is looking for you. Your goal inakuangalia hapo mbele. It's like more of a drive to you, the trigger factor. Then secondly, it's planning. You plan yourself accordingly, uneka vitu vizuri. You just arrange everything well. You find that when you're tackling things, when you have that goal na hiyo plan kwa akili yako, unajipata uko more relaxed while doing them. Unapata kufanya vitu hauruki. You're not being a squirrel. Like my father always says, you're here, you're there, you're here. You are having that one goal, that one drive that is pushing you ahead. Everything is planned and unasonga. Then, thirdly, or should I say lastly, is keeping a positive mind and a positive group. When the group that is surrounding you, the people, the friends around you are having a positive thinking, utajipata wewe mwenyewe you're being positive. Una tackle things with a sane and a relaxed mind. You are moving in the right direction. When this happens, your mind also becomes very, very positive. And unajipata the steps that you're taking, the moves that you're making them knowing that hadi nikianguka hapa, I'll have somewhere back to fall and they will pull me back ahead. When I fail here, najua hapa hivi nimefail. Then I najiuliza Malcolm, hey Mal, how do I do this? And he'll help me and I'll come back again. Or I'll also have that thing to prove to Malcolm that, hey, see, last time we didn't idea, this time I have to prove to you that I can do this. So it's mainly having the positive mind and the positive thinking, and which the group, your peers around you are giving you. So it's just the drive, the plan, and the mindset that we are having ndio inatupatia the positive confidence, the right amount of confidence that we need to go through with.
Thank you very much, Tom. And finally, Malcolm.
Well, I have some few words to the youths, especially the youths.
Yeah.
I believe with confidence, first of all, you should accept that you as an individual, you are mighty. Yeah. Most of the youths right now, it's self-confidence that they lack in doing what they do. And I believe if you are able to accept yourself and you're able to know that you can move strides, you're not like this house, haitaitoka hapa. Ukiacha tu hivi, you go and come back, you'll find it here. You are capable of doing it. You see, youths, my fellow youths should understand that you're not stagnant. You're not stagnant in life. You are not meant to be here forever. You're supposed to move from place to place. And lastly, but not least, I believe we should also, the youths, need to understand that there is a living God and that God has a purpose for us. And if God has a purpose for us, it's always, we've learned from the Bible that it is never negative. It's always positive. God has a formula, a positive formula for your life. It should give you enough confidence to see every day, to know that you are able to make it as an individual. Thank you very much.
Wow, Malcolm, that's powerful. That's very powerful. And I'd like to thank you so much for taking your time to share your experiences on the topic we had today. And for me, my parting shot would be, as strategies to boost our self-confidence and self-esteem, let's learn how to affirm. Affirmation basically is write a positive statement of what you want out of life. Read it, reflect it, memorize so that it becomes part and parcel of who you are. Visualize about it wherever you are, where you are seated. Close your eyes for like 2-3 minutes. Just think about what does that statement mean to you. And with time, you'll be able now to focus on the things in your life that you actually want to improve on. And as you keep on improving through the positive statements, which I'm calling affirmations, and visualizing, thinking about it, being one with the feeling of having achieved, then you'll be able now to start building your self-confidence. And I also want to touch on a comment by Lillian about coaching, and I want to share with the youth who are watching us. Visit our site. Let me just put the... Please visit our site. We offer a 1-year program on coaching and mentorship, and it's actually focusing on the mindset. Because for us, we believe that when you have it right in your head, when your mind has accepted, then it's very easy for you to be able to do whatever it is. You can actually do anything that you want, so long as you set your mind to it. So I really want to thank you. I'm sorry we've lost 2 people. We've lost Gideon, we've lost Collins. I think network challenges. But luckily we've come to the end of the show, and I really thank you for sharing the comments, the ideas you had. And I also want to thank our audience for being with us. And with that, I want to wish you a nice weekend. Please remember next week again, same time at 10 a.m. on Saturday, we explore another topic that affects our youth. Collins is back, so he can be with us as we say goodbye. So have a lovely weekend, people. Malcolm, Storm, Omolo, thank you so much. Collins, we also want to say thank you for having been with us. We couldn't have two of our panelists, again, the network issues. Oh, and I forgot, Patience Wanambisi. That is the youth who shared with us the faking it part. So we also want to thank her for bringing the discussion into context on what's happening among the youth. So thank you so much and have a lovely weekend.
Same to you.
Bye.